Hi, Junior with today's thought, and today we'll be talking about, well, something that I thought would get more news item, a current event that I thought would get more play than it's getting. This is an article in the Wall Street Journal, but also in the Israeli press. That's where I saw the article. I'm linking to the article I'm going to share in a minute in the Israeli press. The reason I don't link to the one in the Wall Street Journal is because it's behind a paywall. So unless you're a subscriber, you wouldn't be able to read the article. But if you are a subscriber, I would go to the original article on the Wall Street Journal. Anyways, so this is from a paper called The Times of Israel. Let me give you the news, go to the headline, give you some quotes, and then I'll give you a couple of thoughts that I have on it. So, Trump weighing options to stop Iran going nuclear, including preemptive strikes. A report. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is weighing options to prevent Iran from building a nuclear weapon, including preventive airstrikes, the Wall Street Journal reported Friday. The report came as Israel reportedly draws up plans for a potential attack on Iranian nuclear facilities amid growing concern that the Islamic Republic, poised to build a bomb, could rush to finally do so. Iran and its proxies are weakened right now after more than a year of war against Israel that began when the Hamas terror group in Gaza attacked the Jewish state on October 7, 2023. Trump has told Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in recent calls that he wants to avoid an Iranian breakout during his term in office, the report said, though he seeks a means of stopping the Islamic Republic from going nuclear that does not trigger a new war, especially one in which U.S. troops would become involved, according to the report, which cited transition officials. Sources familiar with the plan told the Journal that there were several different ways military pressure could be used to deter Tehran. Trump considered preventative strikes on Iran's nuclear sites during the latter part of his first term, but decided against it. This time, according to the Wall Street Journal report, his administration may be open to supporting an Israeli strike against the Islamic Republic's nuclear facilities. That's my quotes from the article. Now my thoughts. And one of the thoughts is what that last paragraph that I just shared with you. Just let Israel do it. Israel would be happy to do it if they have the weapons, especially bunker busters, to do it. Now, I actually believe that Israel could do it with what they have now, because what people leave out, they always talk about, well, could this bomb go deep enough to destroy the facility, which is the Iranian facilities, which are in a mountain. And it seems to be this assumption that you just send in one bomb and it either works or it doesn't. But of course, we have GPS these days and very accurate bombs, and Israel could send a less powerful bomb into a particular spot on a mountain, and then send another one after that, and another, and another, and another. And we just saw this attack on Iranian air defenses that the Israelis did in retaliation for missiles sent over to Israel from Iran. And the F-35s, I believe I read that, I'm pretty sure I read that the missiles, Israel destroyed pretty much all of Iran's air defenses, and they did it from 100 miles away. That's how good these F-35s are. It's not like the old days in World War II where you'd go right over the target and have to drop bombs. They could send them from quite a distance away and do it safely. Now, so that's one of the possibilities. But the thing is that Iran is defenseless now, so Israel or us, we would have all the time in the world to repeatedly attack these sites, because there's no way for the Iranians. They're not going to shoot down American planes and the Israeli planes, or maybe they'll get lucky and hit one or two. But that's a possibility. And so my thought is, Donald Trump, if you're watching this, I suspect you're not, but maybe somebody who knows you, but give Israel all the weapons that Israel needs to do the job themselves. And they have a very good Air Force. They have more than enough planes and pilots to do the job, and that's what I would do. I would just let the Israelis do it. But what I would do before that, but also another possibility is a joint attack. The United States and Israel do it together. Now, what I would do is, there have been talks about attacking the oil facilities, and then you'd absolutely destroy, at least for a period of time, the Iranian economy. I don't suggest that, except as a last resort, because the problem is that you want to get rid of this regime, but the Iranian people, most of them are there, they support, well, not just the United States, but Israel, and you don't want to destroy the economy for them. They're the ones who would, because I would predict that if we attack either the Israelis or we, or both of us together, destroy the nuke. If we did attack, I would not bet a plugged shekel or whatever I don't know what the Iranian currency is, but I would not bet any of it on that regime staying in power very long. In fact, they may fall below then, and I'm actually going to, in a future video, if I can remember, I played for you a message from Netanyahu to the Iranian people, desire for peace and so on and so forth. He just issued a second one, and that was I was trying to decide which one thought to go with today, which issue, and I went with this one because I think it's more important, attacking the nuke sites. But so you don't want to do that. But what you could, no one talks about the Iranian Navy, and it's interesting because, especially now, because Israel, if you've been following it, Syria, Assad is gone, and Israel has been heavily attacking Syrian military sites, arms storage areas, to especially chemical weapons, to prevent them falling into the hands of these rebels who, well, whether they're friendly to Israel or not, as it turns out to be, maybe I would suspect there would be some kind of détente, and that they don't like Israel, but it's not worth it to go to war against Israel, as we've just seen countless examples in recent, in the last year or so. But one of the things that Israel also did is they destroyed the Syrian Navy. And that's something that no one talks about the Iranian Navy. And the Iranian Navy, they're very proud of their Navy, number one, the mullahs are. And number two, they threaten to, if somebody attacks Iran, that they will close the Straits of Hormuz, through which a lot of our, world shipping goes through. And so that's a justification in itself to destroy the Iranian Navy. So that's what I think we should, maybe a joint operation where Israel goes after the nuke sites, where we sink the Iranian Navy, and hopefully not have to destroy the oil refineries and production. Kargil, and it's a separate island off the coast of Iran, very easy to hit and destroy that whole thing. But as I said, I would make that a last resort. But what I would do, my suggestion, because as I quoted in an article, Trump wants to avoid a war, and there are several ways to pressure Iran short of a direct attack. And number one is reinstating all the sanctions that this horrible administration will be gone in about a month has done, waived all the Iranian sanctions that were crippling. They were down to $4 billion in reserves, and financial reserves and currency reserves, and they were now, thanks to Biden, they have hundreds of billions of dollars, which financed all these attacks in Israel, and this disruption, the disruption there have been wreaking across the whole Middle East, just about, as their goal it's not going to happen anymore, but to create what they call a Shiite crescent, Shiite Muslims going from Iran through Iraq and then through Syria and all the way in Lebanon and all the way to the Mediterranean. and in that way start to build a caliphate with Iran at the head of it. That's obviously not going to happen today. You cannot underestimate how much of what Israel has done. Well, not what Israel has done, which made the ousting of Assad possible, but without Israel, it would never have happened. But with Iran no longer having any influence in Iran, and why would they? Because these rebels, the Iranians were responsible for killing hundreds of thousands of Syrians. They propped up Assad, and they also had the Revolutionary Guards in Syria. So I don't imagine them being the new leadership of Syria, whoever it turns out to be, being very friendly towards Iran. So that bye Shiite Crescent, but that just shows the weakness of Iran. So what I would do is I would very openly, I would give Israel the weapons and say, well, if we don't do the United States, give Israel the weapons and a green light to attack Iran anytime they want, without notice. And then I would, then the United States would say, if the Israelis need help, we'll help. We'll participate too. And then just issue an ultimatum, which I think some talking head on TV on the Fox Business Channel made this. I don't remember the name, so I can't give it credit. I would love to give that person credit. Didn't say it directly, but pretty much implied it. But deliver an ultimatum. Get all set up for this, and then tell the Iranians, okay, you have no defense against us. We can destroy your nuclear facilities in your country. We can bring down your regime. We can sink your navy. We can so many things. If necessary, we could destroy your facilities. And we will do all of that if you do not, within 30 days, let's say, give them some time, within 30 days, stop all support for proxies, all financial support for your proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas. No more shipping weapons. I would say no more projecting power of any kind, power or influence beyond your borders. And finally, this is what I would say, and also permit a delegation of Israeli and American, a delegation to inspect any and all Iranian military sites, especially the nuclear sites, and to bring with them a squad of sappers to, say, okay, you can either destroy your entire military program, your entire nuclear program under our supervision, or you can stand aside and watch while we do it. And that's what I would do. And then if they say no, then I would attack, but they'd have to be complete idiots to say no. But either way, they're in a real pickle then, the Iranians, because if they back down like that, they'd be totally humiliated, and I would not, give bet for a long life of that regime. You know what I would also throw in? This will be my last thought. I would say repeal your hijab or head covering. Women have to. The last nationwide protests that are almost turned into revolution was because of a woman who did not have her hair covered properly with the scarf, a hijab, whatever, and she was beaten to death, and that sparked this near revolution. And so I would throw that in there. I say repeal that law, repeal that law, and let women dress the way they want. Or I would even say, because if the Iranians say, okay, well, we want to be peaceful, we want to talk, we want to negotiate, then I would say, well, show us you're serious by repealing that hijab law. Has no military effect, no financial effect. Very simple for you to do, but it's very public and visible, and shows that Iran, that the mullahs want to change. And do they want to go to war over that, number one? And number two, if they back down on that and repeal that law, that is a major humiliation that the whole world can see. And you'll see dancing and celebration in the streets. So those are my thoughts. lots of ways to go here, but the main thing is Godspeed, Trump and Netanyahu, either or both together. Godspeed on getting with the nuke program. Iran has never been so weak as they are right now, and I say go for it. Go for it. Get it over with. Imagine how different the Middle East would be without Iran creating mischief all across the area. That's my thought for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Your thoughts always welcome in the comments section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.